Isang pinagpalang araw po. Ang ating topic for today is about the application for the Senior High School Voucher Program, School Year 2020-2021. Noong June 25, 2020, nag-release po ang DepEd ng DepEd Order No. 16 Series of 2020. Ito po ang guidelines on eligibility and application for the Senior High School Voucher Program. This is for the school year 2020-2021. According to Republic Act number 10533 or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, sinasaad dito na ang Pilipinas has the basic education from 10 years to 13 years with the addition of kindergarten and grades 11 and 12. The Philippine Constitution of 1987, Article 14, Section 1, it guarantees the right of every Filipino to accessible and quality basic education. The Philippine Constitution of 1987, Article 14, Section 2.3 mandates the state to establish a system, among others, subsidies and incentives to deserving individuals in both public and private schools. Through this Republic Act, they want to uphold both the said provisions by explicitly expanding the programs of assistance under the GASPE law through the help of the Department of Education. In this regard, DepEd developed the Senior High School Voucher Program. It is a program of financial assistance wherein subsidies in the form of vouchers are provided to qualified senior high school learners in participating private or non-DepEd public senior high schools. DepEd provided guidelines wherein they categorized the learners into two. First, those who are automatically qualified, and the other one is those who will undergo application. Implementation rules and responsibilities. First is DepEd. DepEd is the institutional owner of the Senior High School Voucher Program. As such, it is the final authority on policy decisions and issues arising from its implementation. Next is the Private Education Assistance Committee has been contracted by DepEd to manage the Senior High School Voucher Program. PAYAC is the trustee of the Fund for Assistance to Private Education, a perpetual trust fund created to provide assistance to private education in the country. Schools shall provide learners and parents with information, guidance, and assistance on the Senior High School Voucher Program and the application process. Eligibility. Learners who completed junior high school in public schools operated by DepEd and in the public or private educational institutions not directly operated by DepEd but granted by DepEd with a permit or government recognition to operate are eligible for a senior high school voucher program. Learners who completed the grade 10 as passers of the Alternative Learning System Accreditation and Equivalency Test and of the Philippine Education Placement Test are also eligible for Senior High School Voucher Program. These learners shall be referred to as grade 10 completers. Grade 10 completers are subdivided into two, those who are automatically qualified learners and voucher applicants. Automatically qualified learners. Only grade 10 completers in school year 2019-2020 who will fall under the categories below automatically qualified for vouchers and are considered qualified voucher recipients. They do not need to apply for vouchers. For category A, all grade 10 completers in the public schools operated by DepEd. Category B, all grade 10 completers in state universities and colleges and LUCs. In Category C, all grade 10 completers in private schools who are ESC grantees. Voucher applicants. Only learners in the categories below need to apply for vouchers and shall be referred to as voucher applicants. Acceptance of voucher applicants shall be determined using set of parameters subject to availability of funds. For category D, all grade 10 completers in private schools in school year 2019-2020 who are not ESC grantees. For category E, all grade 10 completers who completed grade 10 prior to school year 2019-2020 but not earlier than 2016 and had not previously enrolled for grade 11. For category F, learners who had passed the ALS and for grade 10 not earlier than 2016 and had not previously enrolled for grade 11 or will take the ALS test in school year 2020-2021. Category G, learners who passed the PEPT for grade 10 not earlier than 2016 and had not previously enrolled for grade 11 or will take the PEPT in school year 2020-2021. The following learners are not eligible for senior high school voucher program. Learners who graduated high school in 2015 or earlier. Incoming grade 12 learners who were not part of senior high school voucher program in grade 11, and non-Filipino learners. Voucher application procedure. Deadline for creation of accounts on OVAP is on July 22, 2020. Deadline for application is on July 24, 2020. Number 1. Access OVAP at http://ovap.payac.org.ph. Follow the instructions to create an OVAP account. Voucher applicants must use a working email address they have to access to. Remember that an account is not yet an application. Number 2. Wait for a confirmation email that shall be sent to the voucher applicant's email address. Upon receipt of the confirmation email, click on the link provided to access the OVAP as a registered user. Number 3. Complete the electronic voucher application form. Voucher applicants may do this in parts but must ensure changes are saved by section. Number 4. Scan or take a picture and upload the following required documents in the OVAP. Letter A. Recent 2x2 colored ID photo. B. Proof of financial means, both parents or guardians and other persons helping, and send the voucher application to school if any. C. Signed parent consent form for voucher applicants below 18 years old at the time of the submission of the application. And letter D. Certificate of financial assistance received from the junior high school if this is applicable. Note that due to foreseen difficulty in securing documents as a result of the implementation of measures for the management of COVID-19, applications with no or incomplete supporting documents will still processed. The deadline for submission of supporting documents is on October 30, 2020. Number 5. Check the result of application through OVAP. Voucher applicants with successful applications become eligible for the voucher and shall be called qualified voucher applicants. Number 6. Download the qualified voucher applicant certificate from OVAP. The qualified voucher applicant certificate is required for voucher redemption. Qualified voucher applicants shall submit their qualified voucher applicant certificate to the senior high school they decide to enroll as a proof that they are entitled to the voucher. Remember that only qualified voucher applicants who have submitted the required supporting documents will be able to download the qualified voucher applicant certificate. Failure to submit the required supporting documents by October 30, 2020, or submission of documents that fail to support the information declared in the BAF 1 is grounds for disqualification, exclusion of the QVA, and revocation of the voucher. Number 7. Voucher applicants who will submit supporting documents after July 17 are advised to check the OVAP 1 week after submitting their supporting documents for feedback on their submission. Voucher applicants whose submission successfully passes validation shall be able to download their QVA certificate. Voucher applicants must submit proof of the financial means of both their parents or guardians and the other persons helping send the voucher applicant to school, if any. Here are the expected submission per scenario. Voucher applicant lives with or is supported through the school by both parents. The required documents is for both parents. The next scenario is if the voucher applicant's parents are separated but is supported through the school by both parents. The required documents are for both parents. Next scenario is if the voucher applicant has one deceased parent, lives with, or is supported through school by a living parent. The required documents only for solo parent, and then solo parent ID of living parent or death certificate for the deceased parent, or notarized affidavit stating that solo parent is widow or widower. Next scenario, voucher applicant parents are separated, lives with, is supported through school by only one parent. The required documents is only for solo parent. Solo parent ID of solo parent or notarized affidavit stating that solo parent is separated, whether legally or not. Next scenario, voucher applicant lives with or is supported through school by one parent and one guardian. The required document for both the parent and the guardian. Next, voucher applicant lives with is supported through school by a guardian. The required document is from the guardian. Next, voucher applicant is supported through school by a person other than the parent or guardian. The required documents for the person helping send the voucher applicant to school. Take note that there's a template for the affidavit to be notarized and submitted is attached as Annex 3. Required document as part of financial means. If the concerned person is employed in the Philippines, the required document is latest annual income tax return. You will get it from Bureau of Internal Revenue. Or a certificate of employment. First, you will get it from your employer. The certificate of employment should state the person's occupation and gross monthly income, which refers to the gross monthly wages or salaries before taxes and other deductions. It includes basic pay, overtime pay, commissions, tips, allowances, and 1/12 of annual bonuses. Average monthly earnings refer to earnings from sources of income such as business, trade, profession, investments, and/or pensions. A template for the certificate of unemployment is attached as Annex 4. Qualification or disqualification. Grade 10 completers who will fall under categories A, B, and C is discussed in Section 6, the eligibility. Of these guidelines are QVRs and should not apply. Their applications shall not be processed. PAYAC National Secretariat shall process all application forms submitted by the voucher applicants on or before July 24, 2020 and forward the results to DepEd for approval. In consideration of the limitations imposed by the implementation of measures to address the COVID-19 public health emergency, applications submitted with no or incomplete supporting documents will still be processed. Voucher applicants are given until October 30, 2020 to submit the required supporting documents. The following applications shall be disqualified. 1. Applications submitted after the deadline. Number 2. Applications with incomplete VAP1. Number 3. Applications that contain false information. Number 4. Applications by learners who are not eligible for the senior high school voucher program. For example, learners who graduated high school in 2015 or earlier, or incoming grade 12 learners who were not part of the senior high school voucher program in grade 11, and non-Filipino learners. The results of application. Results will be posted on OVAP and may be accessed by learners, parents, and schools. Voucher applicants will not be notified of the results. It is the responsibility of the voucher applicant to check the results of the application on OVAP. Announcement on the posting of results shall be made on the PAYAC, National Secretariat, and DepEd websites and other available media. For voucher applicants who fall under categories F and G, being a qualified voucher applicant is contingent upon the results of the IELTS A&E test and PEPT. Voucher applicants who have successful senior high school voucher program applications but do not pass the IELTS A&E test and PEPT on time for school year 2020-2021 shall not be considered as qualified voucher applicants and will not be entitled to the voucher. Grounds for disqualification, exclusion of qualified voucher applicant, and revocation of voucher. Number 1. False information in application and or supporting documents. Number 2. Failure to submit required supporting documents by October 30, 2020. Number 3. Failure of submitted supporting documents to support information declared in the BUF1. Voucher validity and redemption. QVRs redeemed the voucher by enrolling for grade 11 at a non-DepEd senior high school in any of the DepEd approved learning delivery options. As with any learner, the QVR must satisfy the requirements for admission set by the non-DepEd senior high school. A QVR who successfully enrolls at a non-DepEd senior high school becomes a voucher program beneficiary. Upon enrollment, QVRs must present to their chosen non-DepEd senior high school the following documentary evidences as proof of their eligibility. Documentary evidences of eligibility. For categories A and B, you must bring report card bearing a learner reference number. Where can we obtain it? From the junior high school. For category C, you must bring ESC certificate. We can get it from junior high school or PAYAC NS. Categories D, E, F, and G, you will just bring QVA certificate wherein you can get it from PAYAC NS via OBAC. For category E, certificate of rating from ALS A and E for secondary. You can get it from DepEd Bureau of Educational Assessment or BEA. Schedule of implementation. Here are the important dates to remember. June 29, 2020, it is the start of voucher application period. July 22, 2020, deadline for the creation of account on OVAP. July 24, 2020, deadline for submission of applications on OVAP. August 14, 2020, posting of application results on OVAP. and start of voucher redemption. On October 30, 2020, it is the deadline for uploading of required supporting documents and voucher redemption. Nakuha ko po ang information na ito mula sa DepEd Order number 16, Series of 2020. Sana po ay makatulong ang impormasyong ito. Maraming salamat po sa pagbibigay ninyo ng panahon upang pakinggan ito. Kung meron po kayong katanungan, huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Maraming salamat po and God bless.